In the dawn of creation, a shadow fell upon paradise. The serpent, more cunning than any creature God had made, approached the woman, his voice a silken whisper. "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" He hissed. The woman, Eve, recounted God's command. They could eat from any tree, except the one in the middle of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. To touch it, to eat from it, meant death. But the serpent, a master of deceit, twisted the truth. "You will not surely die," he promised. "For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." He planted a seed of doubt, a desire for forbidden knowledge, challenging the goodness of their Creator. The serpent's words lingered in the air, wrapping around Eve's thoughts. She gazed at the tree, and suddenly it seemed different. The fruit appeared delicious, a feast for the eyes, and the promise of wisdom was intoxicating. The serpent's lie had reframed her perception. What was once a boundary of love now seemed like a restriction of freedom. She reached out, her fingers closing around the smooth skin of the fruit. The choice was made in that moment. She took a bite, and the world did not end. Instead, a new awareness flooded her senses. She then turned to her husband Adam, who was with her, and gave him the fruit. He took it, and he ate. In that shared act of disobedience, their innocence was shattered. Their eyes were opened, not to divine wisdom, but to their own vulnerability. They saw that they were naked, and for the first time, a cold wave of shame washed over them. They scrambled to cover themselves, stitching fig leaves into crude loincloths, a futile attempt to hide from their new reality. Fear, an emotion they had never known, began to grip their hearts. The perfect harmony of the garden was broken, replaced by a tense, unsettling silence. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the garden, a sound broke the quiet, the sound of the Lord God walking in the cool of the day. It was a familiar sound, one that used to bring joy, but now it struck terror into their hearts. Adam and Eve, consumed by fear and guilt, hid themselves among the trees, hoping to vanish from the presence of their Creator. But no one can hide from God. His voice echoed through the garden, not in anger, but in a searching, sorrowful question. "Where are you?" Hiding in the shadows, Adam's voice trembled as he answered, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." The Lord's next question cut straight to the heart of their transgression. "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The moment of reckoning had arrived. Instead of confessing, Adam pointed the finger. "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." The blame shifted. When God turned to Eve, she too deflected. "The serpent deceived me and I ate." The beautiful chain of relationship, God to man, man to woman, humanity to creation, was fractured by sin, replaced by a chain of blame. There would be consequences for all. The serpent was cursed. The woman would face pain in childbirth, and the man would toil against the ground for his food. The world itself was now broken. Though their sin brought judgment, it did not extinguish God's love. Before sending them out of the garden, God showed them a tender mercy. He replaced their flimsy fig leaves with garments of skin, clothing their shame with his own provision. Then he exiled them from Eden. He placed mighty cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life, lest they eat from it and live forever in their fallen state. Their departure was not an act of pure punishment, but also of protection. As Adam and Eve stepped out into the world beyond paradise, a world now marked by thorns and thistles, they did not go without hope. In the midst of the judgment, God had given a mysterious and profound promise. He declared to the serpent that the seed of the woman would one day crush his head. This was the first glimmer of the gospel, the first whisper of a future Redeemer who would come to undo the serpent's work. In the heart of humanity's greatest failure, hope was born. The journey of redemption had begun. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more chapters of this timeless narrative.